topic is all about how to create a special place in your mind. Now, a technique often used in hypnosis, in meditation and relaxation is to encourage you to go inwards to a special place that you have created. It's a bit like having your own personal inner sanctuary based on a real or imaginary place that you associate with relaxation, comfort, security, or peace. Maybe it's a room in your home, a cabin in the mountains, a corner in your garden, a lovely sandy beach, somewhere you can hear the ocean and the waves coming to the shore. It could be an open meadow full of wildflowers, or a soft moss carpeted spot in a peaceful woodland. Anywhere at all. And what happens is that when you go to that place in your mind routinely, whether in hypnosis or meditation, or when you're just falling asleep or in the bath, it becomes a really easy, familiar place to go to when you feel the need to relax and to just kind of mentally get away from everything for a while. Now, my special place has always been the same secluded beach that I went to when I was backpacking in Thailand many years ago. And when I first created that special place, I used to spend a lot of time there just thinking about everything that I could remember. The route to get there, the colours, the sound of the sea, the feeling of the water, the texture of the sand. And I did that with intention. It wasn't connected to hypnosis or relaxation. I was just thinking about that special place, that beach. And then when I started to learn self-hypnosis, that was my go-to place. When I wanted to really focus, to switch off my conscious thinking brain, it very soon became completely automatic that when I began to focus on my breathing and gave myself permission to go into hypnosis, I would just automatically go to that beach. And over the years, I've been on that beach in all sorts of guises. When I was pregnant, being a pregnant woman, with my babies, with my husband, and then later on with my sons. And I've often seen them at all stages of their life on that beach. Sort of my subconscious just kind of comes up with its own imagination of what I'd like that beach to be on that particular day. So it's a place for me of just pure joy, utter peace and happiness, and it's a real comfort, especially in the last year. Actually, I've gone there quite a lot. So when the world throws you curveballs, it's somewhere I can just go to and just relax. And many women, find this a really useful technique to think about now during their pregnancy, and then to use it later on in the birth itself. And you can always use it as a way to kind of focus all of your thoughts when you're in that special place. There's no right or wrong in how you use it. And there was one lady I worked with many years ago, and I always remember this, that she hadn't really planned a special place, but when she went into labour, she just went there, and it became her go-to place for every contraction. And it was based on a beach that she had been to, that she'd lived at when she was younger, in Cornwall. And when she was in labour, as each contraction started, she kind of took some breaths, went inside, so began to visualise, and she saw herself walking down these steep steps from the top of the cliff down to the beach. And she was carrying a tea light, and that she would get to the bottom of the beach during the contraction, she would place the tea light on the beach, and then she would go back up at the end of the contraction. And then what happened is that as the labour progressed and things became more intense, she would go down to that beach, but every time she went down there, there were more and more tea lights on the beach. And so she then felt like with each contraction, she almost wanted it to come on. She was kind of willing the next contraction because it meant that she would go down and contribute the next beautiful tea light, to the point that at the end, she was so serene and so calm that actually we kind of weren't aware that her baby was just about to be born. And it was all down to this visualization that she had of being able to go down to that beach and to see all of those beautiful tea lights. And then there was one other birth that I attended. In fact, it was actually my very first birth that I went to, and it was a couple who, they actually lived in a barn, and they had travelled a huge amount during their lives, and during every single contraction her partner would say one word, and it would be the name of a place that they had been to together as a couple. And it could be anywhere. It was all sorts, all places around the world, but lots in India and the Far East. And what happened was, as that contraction started, again, the mum was able to take herself into a lovely relaxed state, to breathe deeply, and then to mentally go back to that place that he had mentioned. So there are lots of amazing ways to use the power of visualization and to use a special place, whether you spend time creating that special place now, or whether it just comes to you in labour. But I would really strongly urge you to have a think about it, and it can change. It doesn't have to stay the same. I remember one lady told me about her special place was actually her bedroom, but her bedroom moved, so that she was always in her bedroom, but she was looking out of the window and she was in some other amazing space and place around the world. So have a go, think about somewhere that triggers wonderful, happy, safe, calm memories for you, and build on that, and then use that during the labour, during contractions.